Megaman X Command Mission, originally released in 2004, and was available on both the GameCube and the PlayStation 2. This was the attempt to make Megaman X into an RPG. The story here is pretty typical of Megaman X. X and Zero are sent in to deal with a group of mavericks. They are led by a Reploid, known as Epsilon, and their group is referred to as the Rebellion throughout the game. Early on, you get to meet Epsilon and his top men, and things go awry, of course, and Megaman and Zero get separated. They won't be reconnecting till much later. So the early parts of the game are about X and what happened to him after things went poorly. Being an RPG, he'll very shortly pick up a few party members. And also, despite the fact NPCs will regularly mention that they're looking for a Maverick Hunter, no one ever actually recognizes X. The game itself is broken up into chapters. Each chapter serves as a self-contained story, but also progresses the overall story. And you'll know a chapter is coming to an end when you have a boss fight. I would call this a very good starter RPG, but boss fights are legitimately challenging in this game, and oftentimes turn into battles of attrition. And it's also an extremely linear game, and even when there seems to be a branching path, one of the paths will be incredibly short. And as RPGs go, its story isn't all that complicated. It's very much the story you would get from a Mega Man X game, just stretched out for the length of a JRPG. In making Mega Man into an RPG, many things had to be changed. In doing so, several aspects of Mega Man X had to be recontextualized for the genre. For example, you can still charge up the Mega Buster for an attack, and in this game it will hit every enemy you're fighting. But you also can't do it repeatedly. You need to have enough weapon energy, which slowly restores over the course of the turn-based battles. The upgrades that would change Mega Man's appearance in previous games are still here, but not in the same way. You activate this upgraded form and have it for several turns during combat. This is something you'd want to save for boss fights mostly. Speaking of boss fights, Mega Man doesn't really get anything after fighting a boss other than some experience. So you won't be collecting new attacks the way you would in a more traditional Mega Man X game. However, being an RPG, you do have equipment. And you can get different Mega Busters with different elemental attacks. And yes, most bosses are weak to one element or another. Not every aspect of Mega Man X necessarily translates into a JRPG format, but attempts were clearly made. As to why this game has remained trapped on the PlayStation 2 and GameCube, it really just seems that Capcom hasn't found a legacy collection to put it in yet, as this is a spin-off of the Mega Man X series, and spin-off games have not been represented in the Mega Man Legacy collections yet. So, Command Mission, along with Mega Man in Base, Mega Man Soccer, and even the Mega Man Legends games, have yet to see a re-release. So here's hoping that we eventually get a Mega Man Legacy Collection. Mega Man Everything Else Legacy Collection.